Hey everybody, welcome to the Relume live stream. I'm Josh. I've missed you guys. It's been just 1 week, but man, so much has happened, and I'm just glad to be back with you online. I see Sean Duvall and other people in there, so shout out to you. I'll welcome the rest of you guys in. But today is a really special episode. We have, I just got back from State of Flow, so just some thoughts there. Like, it was amazing. If you guys haven't been seeing all the activity on Twitter, you can check it out. But actually, released a cool little, where is it here? Cool little video here. The YouTube link is in the description, so it's on a separate channel. You guys can check it out. It's a small little recap, but it was really awesome to connect and see guys like Joe, Rymar, Melissa all in person, and just really have all the community together. So really awesome. Anyways, so that is that. Today also we have a special Webflow celebrity appearance that'll hopefully it'll pop in like halfway through, so I won't announce that until that person comes, so that'd be really cool. Also, stick around to the end. Yes, I'm doing it just like all those other YouTubers, but if you do stick around, we do have a special Relume announcement. It's something that we've been working on for October, so we're just going to announce that and release that. So without any further ado, I'm going to welcome our guests. We have Keith from Flow Sparrow and Thor from Snowhouse Studios.
What's up?
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
All right. And obviously we have Dan. He's going to bring in all the business questions. So today we're just going to talk about subscription-based services and just comparing that, the pros and cons versus fixed-based services. So before we dive into it, let's welcome some people. We have Vishal. Hey, good to see you, man. And Sean, we have Tonette, JC, Roberto, Lucas, good to see you. John, good to see you. These are all my friends that I met at State of Flow. Adam, good to see you. We got Brandon. Let me fix this here. We got a lot of people. Tony in the house. Maria. Okay, awesome. So, real quick. Before we jump into that, Keith, Thor, if you guys could just give a little introduction of like who you guys are and a bit about your agency. So we'll start with you, Keith.
Sure. What's up, everybody? I'm Keith, founder of Flow Sparrow. I build websites for people on a subscription basis. So super excited to chat about that today with everybody and dig into it. I know lots of people have lots of questions about it, so I think this is a great topic to dig into today. So very stoked.
Nice. Okay. We have Thor in the house. God of Thunder.
What's up? Thorir Runarsson. Most people just call me Thor. Designer, Webflow developer, and CEO of Snowhouse Studio, and father of 3.
Amazing. That is like a full-time job right there. Okay.
It is.
So we have to talk about real quick what happened today on Twitter with Figma and Adobe. So I'm going to post something in the poll of what you guys think. Thumbs up, you guys like it? Thumbs down, or are you guys neutral? So polls are up. Let me know. What do you guys think about that? Let's touch on that, because like this Figma's already a subscription-based product, right? But like, why do you guys think it's, a bad thing or a good thing?
It surprised me really much. I was like, my first reaction was like, hell no, what the fuck is going on? I was not happy about that. I'm not a super fan of Adobe products. Not great experience with those. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think Adobe's really bad with their payment structure. Like, I think we tried to cancel one time and they wanted to charge us like $300 just to like cancel. Just stuff like that is really shady. And I think they're also just with their products, just like throw features on features, and it just gets bloated and slow. And Figma is like one of my favorite tools outside of Webflow. So like, I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I'm not stoked on it, I guess.
Time will tell.
They've said that they'll give them autonomous control over like what they do internally, but I guess that's what every company says when
I think that's to curb the press blowback or a little bit.
Yeah, they will give them maybe 1 or 2 years, and then they will destroy everything.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So we got 62% giving it thumbs down, 11% thumbs up. Okay, so yeah, majority thinks this is bad news. Yeah, very interesting. Really neat. Okay, so how should we start this, Dan? Like, let's just have you like kick off some questions you want to
Yeah,
ask.
look,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Like, this is not really like a discussion, I think, of like which one's better, right? In this scenario, what I'm more curious to know is like, um, it's just what applies better for different agencies. So I know there's going to be a lot of instances where the subscription model works for certain tasks or certain projects, or it doesn't. So I don't know if it's like really understanding the pros and cons. So then, when an agency wants to start off building, and I guess starting off building websites, like what approach should they take? Is it a hybrid model? Is it purely subscription based? Is it project? Is it project based? It's that's what I'd like to kind of get from this. Like, what are the pros and cons of each? Not necessarily which one's better, because I still, I guess we could decide that at the end. But it's just more understanding the pros and cons for each one. So when someone's starting off building up their own agency, they've got a good understanding as to why they would go down each path. And yeah, I'm just keen to kind of unpack, because like, I guess for context too, guys. So like, Relume is on the agency side for the roster. We're all project based, so fixed price. So that means, yeah, like we don't necessarily do any subscription. So I'm keen to sort of see the difference and understand why. So I guess the first question, I guess start for yourself, Keith, is like understanding. Did you start off as fixed price projects, or did you start off as subscription only? And I guess why did you want to go down that route at the start?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So like I was freelancing for a few years before I kind of decided to start Flow Sparrow. And what I was doing is I was actually just working with people on a long-term basis. Like I would just do whatever they needed. Whenever they needed it, I would just like count my hours and bill them for that. And yeah, I noticed that they didn't really like the fluctuation in the price every month. I also didn't really like tracking my hours and keeping track of that. So I kind of,
Mm-hmm.
when I was starting Flow Sparrow, I was kind of just thinking like, okay, well, first off, like how do I set myself apart? That was my key thing, because like 90% of agency websites, they lean into the fact that they're creative, or they can create awesome digital experiences or whatever. And I've just seen so many of those, so I was like, okay, well, how do I like do kind of a left turn, and do something a little different? So I saw services like Design Joy, and I was like, okay, well, they could do it with design, like why not try with Webflow? And that's basically kind of why I started it. I just wanted to start with something different, and figure it out as I go. I didn't really have a plan or didn't think too much about it, if I'm being brutally honest. I just kind of dove in and started trying to figure it out. And luckily it worked out a little bit.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And how about yourself, Thorir? Did you start off originally as subscription, or were you fixed price before?
So kind of both. I did have this small company called Shapes by Sons, and we just were design and development agency, and it kind of went on slowly. Didn't get many leads early on, and I just went and applied for a few jobs, didn't get it. So I thought there's no in Iceland, there's no subscription-based design or development services. Like I've seen plenty of those, Design Joy. What are they called? The Pixel. I forgot the name, but yeah, I thought I didn't have much experience working in an agency environment, and I just wanted to get a lot of experience. So I thought this would be easy way to be a little bit different. But also when I started out, I priced the subscription packages very low to get the experience early on, get some customers, and people thought it was cool, it was different. So we got traction early on, and then just slowly raised the prices, which worked perfectly.
Yeah, nice.
That's what we did as well, actually, with our pricing. Like we started really small and worked our way up. and it definitely hurt for a couple months. But
Yeah.
because like, there's
we're in
no
a lot better
commitment, right?
place. Yeah.
There's
Like
no
it was
like
just
commit. Yeah, so you can change price. Like there's no sort of like they're not locked in for a certain amount of months, right?
like,
For the subscription.
exactly, like we definitely do that both ways. Like if they want to cancel, that's cool. If we want to cancel, that's cool as well. And we've definitely raised prices on some people left, whatever. But we found that we would, the better clients kind of came with the higher pricing, which is, interesting in itself. But yeah, it took a little while to get there for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I guess that applies to fix or subscription. The
Yeah.
pricing always starts low at the start, and as your portfolio, as you just get more experience, I feel like you just level
Yeah.
up over time and things that
Yeah.
and
A lot
justifies
more
where you.
value comes with time. Obviously, you get faster. You know more what you're doing, and it's just reasonable to raise prices as you continue to grow.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. No, it makes sense. Okay, well, I guess from a fixed price point of view, my one of my one of my things that I'm intrigued about most is that what type of projects does this apply for? Like, so for example, I get in the roster, we get a project comes in. Hey, classic client, right? We need to build a project. We're looking to redo our website. This is our old crappy website. We want to build a new website. All right, cool. Okay, what do you guys need? Design. You need Webflow build. So is it just a Webflow build? And that's kind of like the variables that I've got, right? And then I'll say, all right, based on per page, this is the price. 50% up now, 50% finishing. So that the most classic scenario is I just need to redo my website. That's like the type of inquiries we've received. But for you guys, do you do you do you fit the models like subscription model to factor in new website builds, or is it more for like ongoing work? Like, do you still do like a fixed project potentially for like a new website and then only turn on the subscription after you've built their website?
Yeah, I can take this first. So like, yeah, when we started, we would just bulk it all together. Be like, yeah, if you want a new website, just get the subscription. We'll like build it out. But we recognized real quick that it made things take longer for some reason. Like it just felt like it just dragged on. Like you didn't focus on planning it and executing it, because it's just a little bit of a slower pace. So that's one thing. And we also recognized that we probably lost on profits because like it was like a big website. They want lots of pages. So we're just like constantly building pages for them in this subscription thing at 5K a month or whatever. But it could have been, a 15, 20K, website project. So that in itself, like we had one client specifically that we were just like, oh, this is bad. We don't want to do this anymore. So it was more like, yeah, we moved that. We just separated the two at that point. And now whenever somebody comes to us like, hey, we want a new website built, we just kind of project base that and fixed price it out separately, and then just do the management. For people who more like just need ongoing support, it's like a good retainer. For people who just like are constantly doing like the majority of our clients are just want like marketing landing pages, like updates to their current sites, like overhauls of like images and stuff like that, like performance things. They don't come to us with hey, I want a new site. They're just like, hey, we're looking for a dedicated partner to help sort out
Okay.
all of the Webflow stuff. So yeah.
Interesting. I guess that's it comes down to like how you positioned yourself, right? Like we don't really
Yeah.
receive inquiries to say, hey, we need maintenance. But I think the way that you guys positioned yourself, you've I guess optimized for that type of persona to inquire about ongoing services, not necessarily new project builds, which I think like obviously, yeah, you've hybrid that out, I guess. What about yourself,
Yep.
Theory? Is that the same sort of approach?
Yeah, it is, and we've always offered both subscription and fixed rate projects. And the funny thing is, a lot of people come to us because both they find it interesting and also they can see some sort of pricing, right? They can estimate, right? You can purchase 30 hours or unlimited for X amount of money. So they can, in their head, estimate how much something will cost down the line. And that's really refreshing for many because this for companies to reach out to multiple agencies and get multiple quotes is a lot of headache. And being able just to see some transparency into the pricing, how it works and how it's structured, just get them interested and on a call. And once they're on a call, it's just about discovering, their needs. What is our job here? If they're looking for a brand new website and all that comes with it, I always tell them fixed rate is the way to go. And down the line, we'll move them onto those subscription plans. That's just optimal way to go about it. In many cases, we don't say necessarily no if they don't want to go that route. If they want to start off with the unlimited or any of those plans and see how it goes, we are happy to do that. But like Keith said, it drags on. It goes on a lot longer because they have unlimited revisions. They have a lot more micromanagement input into everything that's going on, and then maybe you end up after 2 months paying 10K for a single page, right? So that's not an optimal way to go. So yeah, we try to steer it in the right direction when it comes down to it, because we've had experiences that lead up to knowing what they want and what they need.
Right. Okay, I got a quick question here from Tonette. So, Thorir, you offer so many services. It seems like your model will be a bargain for anyone looking for all of these. Do you ever get bogged down if there are multiple clients being handled simultaneously?
That's a great question. And it can be difficult. But we try to onboard new clients. It's not self-serve. You can't go on our website and just purchase the plan and start and submitting requests. It's nothing like that. So we control the process. So when we get leads, and if we get many leads, the process, whether it's subscription or fixed rate pricing, always takes time. So if we get 3 new leads, let's say, and we're totally swamped, I can begin to look for additional help to come in and help with those tasks that are needed. And so therefore we're always busy, always too much to do, but at this moment it's maintainable, but it's definitely busy.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
So you vet clients, Thorir, before you onboard any of them to the subscription model, right? You're not they're not just selecting and going ahead. Like, you want to vet the client before you take them on, because I could imagine taking on a subscription client has a lot more more communication, more back and forth with the client. So it's a bit of I guess you got to make sure that that's right, versus a fixed project, which you don't talk as much.
That's kind of what John's asking too.
Yeah, it's a bit different, because when we are doing fixed rate projects, we control the workflow. It's the process. We know the process. It's a step-by-step checklist. We have deadlines in the future and things like that. When it comes to the subscription, it's more, we are on their team to help them, right? So they are more asking questions, want more to jump on calls and all that. So it's definitely more communication, but it's all right most of the time. We have great clients that are not, messaging us all day, all night. It's just about transparency, making them aware we don't reply to every single message, 2 hours after you sent it. We explain those kinds of things early on, so there are no surprises when you jump on that. We are not, on the next desk to you in the office you can pick on every hour of the day and things like that. But it's definitely more than doing fixed rate projects.
Nice.
Interesting. Is that you got another question?
Yeah. Well, so how big are your teams for each of you to handle this business model of even managing clients and subscription and fix and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I could start with that. So like I have two partners in Flow Sparrow. One's like an operations kind of organizational fella, and the other's just another dev. And then we have freelancers that pop in every once in a while and help us with UX or just like overflow.
Okay.
But we've gotten pretty good at just kind of managing our like however much workload we have with our current team. And then we kind of it fluctuates a bit, but it's pretty steady actually.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
And Thora?
Yeah, we our team of 9 at the moment, which is great. Going from, I think earlier this year in January, I was still alone with some freelance help. So we're definitely growing, and that comes with pain as well as well.
Yeah, got it. Dan, you got any other questions there?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I just want to dig deep a little bit, dig a little bit more deeper on. So that the whole client management thing, right? So like my general sentiment is that personally, I would be freaking out because it increases what I would call the average chat per client, right? I try to really kind of batch that because then otherwise I've spent probably, majority of my time on phone calls and meetings, and then the client can really drain a lot of energy, and yeah, just a lot of like remove yourself from doing deep work and working on the business. So like in terms of, you guys mentioned, talking about how you do, there is an increase of chat, but how do you guys kind of time box things? Like how do you batch things? Do you give clients, you cap their calls? Do you say only message through Slack, or do you manage it like Loom? Like how do you manage this, the communication between you and the client without going crazy?
Not well.
Yeah,
Not well.
they're laughing for a reason.
Yeah, because I know,
Yeah.
man, like big stuff. I've capped it. Like I've nailed it. I don't have to involve
Yeah.
myself as much, but I can imagine it's on another
Yeah, well,
level.
luckily, like our clients aren't too bad. Like I don't know, it's just like a longer term relationship. Like you get to know each other a little bit, and it's a little bit more spread out, and it's not like as abrupt like as like a fixed project would be. Like they need this website now. It's more like okay, get to the landing page whenever you can. So it's a little bit more spread out, which is nice. But I
Nice.
definitely like limit my meetings to like afternoons. Like I just get up super early, make sure my deep work is in the mornings, and then like
Okay.
batch everything in the evenings or whatever. I try to steer clear of Slack in the morning, but it's impossible because like what these people pay for, like our price tag's like on a higher end, so like they want that kind of like white glove approach. Like they want people to answer them when they're like talking to us. So like that's kind of where we come in, and that's what we found like they really appreciate. It's just like if something's wrong, we're there to fix it, and we're actually connected with most of them in Slack. So like if they have an emergency or whatever, they just hit us up and we do it. But luckily, like they're not crazy, and we've had some clients in the past where like they're just like a crazy amount, like just like every couple minutes, just asking silly questions, like just like okay, like sorry, this is probably not the best fit, and that's the beauty of having that flexibility. But yeah, it's really comes down to the client, in my opinion.
So
Yeah,
you don't batch them. Like you don't cap their calls or cap their, I
No,
guess, how
because
much
it's
communication you have per week.
no, it's we just kind of like we have a dashboard to manage requests. So like they log in there, they submit their task, they can comment on the task and all that good stuff, and it's like very focused on that project management side of things in that dashboard. So like a lot of the communication happens there, and my operations guy manages it. But when it comes to meetings and stuff like that, thankfully they don't want meetings all the time as well. Like they're also very busy kind of startups, so they're down with Loom. They're down with like just Slack message and try to like, limit that time as well. And yeah, I think those are the type of clients I want to get more of. They're just busy. They want somebody to handle the stuff. Here's some money, handle the stuff, and that's the key client for us personally.
Nice.
yeah, I agree, and also you can often tell right away some red flags. I know Dan, you talked about red flags
Yeah,
on Twitter, and you can sense that you know, on the first call, you can sense it, what they're looking for. And then we might not be a great fit. But overall, I think most of the clients we've had are, you know, awesome people that is just fun to connect with and talk to and guide through the process and explain things. We also use Slack, and almost all communication go through Slack. We having a Loom video when they request a task is great because we get a little bit more insights into what they're thinking. They can speak freely, and we take meetings if things are more complex. And if you're just transparent about those things, that, you know, we have multiple clients, we have a lot of things to do, and if we're always on a meeting, that just takes away from creative output. So and like people were saying, all these people are busy too, and they don't like spending too much time on meetings as well. So it's definitely not as bad as many people think. I personally like chatting with clients, not all
Nice.
day maybe, but, you know, I in a remote world, I think it's great to get on a call from someone, you know, across the globe and just tell them stuff. Different worlds, they love their product, we know what we are doing, and just match those things. It just it's fun also. And I think we talk too much about those bad clients versus those good clients, because in most cases we have great clients, and one bad apple gets all the attention. That's just the way it is. But most often it nice folks all over the place.
That's good. Real quick question for all three of you. What's the most amount of clients, Vishal asked, that you've had all at once?
I think it was like 5. For
Okay.
Us. Like it's not
5
10.
okay, for Flow Sparrow, 5. How about for Sunhouse?
Yeah, I remember early this year, it was definitely too busy for myself. I think I had about 15 clients, and I was a single person. That was definitely way too much. Luckily, the community, Webflow community, you can reach out to a whole lot of people and get help very fast. So, you know, that's super helpful. But at this moment, we got about, I think, 25, 30 active clients. And maybe half of those in subscription models. The rest is fixed rates.
Got it. And Dan, real quick. So we have our surprise celebrity guest popped in, but Dan, if you want to answer this, and then we'll try to bring him in.
It ranges from like 15 to 20 running at the same time, but I guess like fixed projects, again, they're handled differently. So it's a lot easier, I would say, from my assumptions after talking to you guys.
Nice. All right, here we go. We're gonna take a quick little intermission and bring someone in. I hope he's ready. Oh wait, I do it.
Well, you have a drum roll, don't we?
Here we go. Here we go. Nelson from Webflow, everyone. That is so good.
What
Nelson.
Nelson. Fantastic.
I'm ready.
That is great. Yeah. Welcome. So honored to have you on our stream.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You good?
Mic is good. Loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
All right. So you have a fantastic announcements to share with us?
Wait, No, I don't. Honestly, I don't.
Okay.
I'm so lost right now.
You just came in the middle of our stream. I think you want to talk about the speed build. Is that right?
Oh yeah, that little thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So I guess that's why I'm wearing this. All about speed. It just came off of my X-wing fighter, and it's powering up right now because in the future we don't use gas. Actually, the present, we use. Anyways, speed build challenge happening. The first round is on October 5th, and we are closing applications on this Wednesday, September 21st. And so if you haven't applied, please do so. You can go to webflowconf.com/speedbuild to learn all about the prizes, how to qualify. And last year we did eight qualifiers. So we did quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. This year we're doubling up everything. And it's going to be 16 qualifiers, and they're going to compete on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/webflow, on October 5th, and then October 12th is the quarterfinals, again on our YouTube channel. And then those four winners of the quarterfinals, it's going to be a fast track because we're going to be like, okay, pack your bags and get ready because we're flying you out. We're going to pay them, pay
Nice.
travel fees, the hotel, and of course the Webflow Conf ticket because we want to send them on stage to compete. So it's going to be on the second day of Webflow Conf, and it's going to be the first event
Oh,
of the day.
wow. Oh,
So
nice.
I haven't seen the stage, but I told the production team we're making it esports. I sent them like I Google searched esports stages, and I'm like, I want this. I want the light, smoke. I don't know what it's gonna be like. I just sent them my ideas, and we'll see what's in the budget. We'll see if they can fit whatever my heart wants but on stage. But yes, you'll be going head to head in the semifinals on stage and in front of the live audience and of course the remote audience, and then the grand finals. Oh man, it's going to be fun. Kevin is asking in channel, what is a speed build? So imagine like Top Chef. Well, it came from the idea came from like Top Chef, like those cooking challenge TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So in the cooking challenges, they're like, okay, you have to cook this, right? Ready, set, and go. And then they only have a couple minutes to create that dish. Well, the same thing in Webflow. And how it's going to go, we start with a prompt,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be something like build a blog post card that has a 3-step gradient, color gradient, and a mouse hover Webflow interaction. So you have 5 minutes to sketch it out on paper or in Figma, Adobe Figma, or
Yeah, yeah. We talked about that earlier in the stream. Nelson, what do you think about that news?
well, I'll get to it. And then
Okay,
so
okay.
after that 5 minutes of sketching or Figmaing, you would then go ahead and build it inside of Webflow. So you only have 8 minutes to
It's
build it.
crazy. 8 minutes. Whew.
And so it is possible. I've seen people do some fun stuff already during the practice sessions,
Yes.
and I've seen some of the submissions already, and like it's amazing what this community can do. And so first place, $5,000 and a trophy. Second place, $3,000 and a trophy. Third place, $1,000 and a trophy. Bragging rights, and again, tickets, travel fare, hotel, and a high five from Vlad. That's a huge one
Oh,
right there.
Ooh, yeah.
well,
So yeah, that's the speed build challenge as fast as I can say it and explain it.
That's awesome.
good news. We've got Adam who will be joining Nelson. So
Yes.
he should
Yeah.
submit his
Gonna rep Relume.
by he's got till 21st, but I
Yep.
can say Relume will be proudly representing, or Adam will be proudly representing Relume in the speed challenge. We
I'm glad.
definitely.
I'm glad. I
It's
want to see all the challengers.
very important question. Kevin asked, can we use Relume or any other templates or whatnot?
So we want to make sure that it is a level playing field. So you have to use native Webflow everything. You cannot use pre-styled classes. You cannot use any libraries. You can't even use a Webflow native library. No FinSuite client first. No third-party extensions like Flowbase. None of that. It's just straight blank page, and I'll be providing you if you're a qualifier, I'll be providing you a clonable project which will already have illustrations, lottie animations, colors to choose from. So we give you the basket of ingredients. It's up to you to build whatever the random prompt generator shows on screen. And some of people in the chats, and including you, Josh, have seen the practice sessions that we've already done.
It's pretty
And
fun.
It
really,
is.
Yeah, really cool.
It's tough.
Quick question. David's asking, tickets to Webflow Conf, it's all sold out. But if someone qualifies to go, can they get tickets? How do they get tickets to the conference?
If you qualify if you're one of the four semifinalists, then yeah, we're flying you.
Okay,
We're flying you
automatic ticket.
Automatic ticket, yeah. And if you already have a ticket, automatic refund.
Got it. Okay. We got some big Client First fans here. Like, how do we build without Client First now?
You need to know your box model. You need to understand structure. And because it's a speed build challenge, it's okay to have div block 225. It's a speed build. You're not building for a client, you're building for speed. And it's all just in fun. It's an esport.
Awesome. Great. Okay. Well, yeah, Melissa's trying to get someone to represent Flow Party, so we're getting the teams coming on. That's awesome. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Nelson. What an honor to have you. It's such a and to rep the helmet. It's so great. So good. All right. Anything else that you wanted to add?
Someone asked, Tanette asked, is Webflow setting aside blocks of rooms in San Fran for conference goers? I'm not part of that team. Ask, and maybe we can tweet it out officially. Yeah, I wish I had that answer, but I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna have to find the team that knows the answer.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I'm so excited for the conference, so excited for Speed Build Challenge, of course. And if you're not going, please watch please watch the remote session, and you can register over at webflowconf.com. It's free to watch virtually because there is a lot of things the Webflow team has been working on. A lot of things that the community has been asking for. And I wish I could just tell you, but then that would just ruin the moment, right?
Little teaser?
Yeah.
Little teaser?
Yeah.
Can you give us a little teaser?
So Webflow is going. What? Big thing going to launch right. Everyone is going to freak out because they're like, finally, Webflow is launched. So, I mean, hopefully you got all that. And
yeah, wow. Amazing news.
Your internet connection. We couldn't hear.
I'm excited for that.
So many times. I'm glad it still hits.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, so funny.
Well, go back to your question. My thoughts on Figma being acquired by Adobe. I mean, everyone has a price, and you know what? If their CEO tweeted out, Figma is going to stay Figma. If it gives him and his team more runway to do even more things, more resources, and to do it in the way that Figma wants to do it, then yeah. But it's kind of like when one of my favorite video games right now, Fall Guys, was bought out by Epic, and people are like, "Oh no, they're gonna crash and burn it." No, they just started to create more levels and more things, and so acquisitions happen every day. But if the heart is still there and the community sees that the heart is still there, who are we to judge?
Really good.
Good word. Yeah. Thank you. Can you promise us one thing? Can you promise us that?
Yeah, I can promise you that.
Promises that WordPress will never acquire Webflow.
I mean, again, all I can say about things being acquired is that Impactful media is going to.
He's
Yeah,
good.
I'll just do that all day.
I love that.
I don't know business. I just know that what drew me to Webflow is the CEO and the heart of the platform. Back in 2013, the CEO Vlad was actually the customer support team. Yeah,
Oh.
four of them in 2013. There was Vlad, Sergi, Bryant, and Dan. And when I had an issue with Webflow, I post on the forums, and Vlad is there answering. And to get
Yeah, wow.
straight contact with the CEO, I was like, this is kind of amazing. And it really helped me in my career. And it hasn't changed. And that's why I still have this heart for Webflow, because you 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 see what the leader does of a company. And if they're real with every interaction they do, every interaction that they have, then you know that the product is going to be as real, because it starts at the top. And I
Mhm.
mean, whoever, I don't know anyone here in the chat or here on camera have interacted with Vlad personally, but he is so real. And I hope that you all get to meet him at Webflow Conf or sometime in the future at a future conf. But you talk to him, even the employees at Webflow all see that Vlad is a real person, real honest, humble person.
Mhm.
Love it.
We love him.
Nice.
Can't wait to give you and Vlad and everyone, the Webflow team, a big hug at the conference.
Yay!
Are you gonna bring your helmet too, right?
No, no, no. I mean, they would probably charge me like $100 or something to check it in or something. They'll be like, "No, you can't carry that on board," or if you do, that's your one carry on. And
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Awesome. Thanks so much, Nelson. Really
thank
appreciate your
you for
time.
letting me barge in. David is asking if you had to sell your company, who would be your first choice? Can't say Webflow. Huh. I don't know.
Perfect.
If you had to sell your company, who would be your first choice? Yeah, I don't have a company, so there it is.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about you, Relume.
Oh, I know.
Oh, right. For
Never.
20 billion, I'll speak.
Yeah.
For 20 billion, I'll have a discussion about anything.
I mean, there's always one sweet.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, thank you guys so much.
All right, Nelson.
Nelson.
We'll see you. We'll see you in the conference or on future streams. So, thanks so
Okay.
much. All right, bye. That was great. Whew. Give it up for Nelson, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was unexpected. That was so
Always
good.
a pleasure with that guy.
Yeah, that was my first time talking to him. It was great.
Sweetie pie.
On the
On a
stream.
live?
On the stream.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we get back to where we were?
I think one thing I'm still want to understand more is let's like dive a little bit into creating tasks. So how do you guys define a task? Like, is it build me a landing page, or is it update that section in the footer section to have a green button instead of blue? Like, how are tasks defined for you guys, and how do you not, like, how do you give expectations of time? Like, how do you know this is 1.5 days, 2 days, 3 days, 1 hour? Like, what's your time blocks of estimating for tasks as well?
So when you say task, do you mean like deliverables for the client or for your team to execute?
No. So when I'm saying, like, when like you guys are driven by tasks, like you submit a task on whatever you say, you use Notion or Trello. I'm curious about like that task piece. How do you guys define that, and is there a time limit on each one?
Yeah.
You, Keith.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So what we do is we use a dashboard called it's by a platform called Many Requests. And it's just like a customized dashboard. You can customize the intake form for tasks. You can buy services. You can manage like the payments and all that good stuff in there. So great tool. Highly suggest it for anybody trying to use this type of model. But yeah, what we do is they just give us whatever requests they need. So if it's changing the color of a button on the footer, that's what they put in, and that's cool. If they want a landing page, they just give us a landing page with a design or something, and they get us to do that. What we do when we take it in, though, is we look at it and just provide like a rough due date. So, landing page is obviously going to take a little longer. So we, think it'll take us internally to do 2 or 3 days or 4 days, whatever. And then we just double that usually just to like give us some breathing room or whatever. And, they can set if it's like a, low emergency or like low priority, medium priority, high priority, or whatever. So like if they really want it really quick, what we do is we just kind of organize the higher priority tasks on top, and when they're coming in or whatever. But yeah, it seems to work pretty well. We just kind of give them a rough estimate, and then we try to keep up communication as much as possible, let them know how things are going. Another thing I want to just briefly touch on is somebody asked about like an active task and what that means. So for us, how we manage it is we just have like one active task for our standard plan, two active tasks for our premium plan. And that just basically means just what we're working on one task at a time. So if you feel like dropping 100 tasks on us today, that's great. Let us know which one you want us to work on first, and we'll kind of organize it with you and just kind of, trudge through all of them. But we don't like start a new task until that task is completed, or we kind of shift priorities. So that kind of like, we don't have to do this too much, but it's a good lever to pull if they're like overdoing it. Like if they're like just giving us too much, we're like, hey, sorry, we only have one active task at a time. We got to wait until this one's done, or we got to shift and move to this one. And yeah, it kind of gives us an opportunity to upsell them on the premium as well. It's like, hey, if you want to get more done more quick, you got to bump yourself up to the premium subscription, and it allows us to kind of manage that. But it's honestly, it doesn't happen too often. Like people are pretty good. It usually starts really strong. Like they just need a bunch of stuff like right out the gate, right when they get started. And then it just kind of slowly levels out, which is very nice.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and it's pretty much identical over here. It's
Nice.
yeah, I think so. It's the task may sound hard to define, but like Keith said, it might be a button, it might be a landing page, and then the deadline just depends on how complex those tasks are. So yeah, pretty much doing the same thing here.
Interesting. You find that like for fixed projects, right? Timing is or sometimes thrown out the window. I say 2 months, 3 months, but then client revisions and that infinite. I call it like the infinite loop, right? Where it just doesn't ever get on task. So I guess the biggest factors for you guys is that do client delay tasks as well? Like, are you dependent on obviously them supplying content or supplying feedback? Does that slow down the process, or do you feel like these tasks that you get a little bit more kind of like in your control and you don't have to wait on the client?
Both. It really is both, because like a landing page, if we're doing a landing page, a lot more goes into it. They might be waiting for a copywriter, and a lot of different things play into role. So we might just pause that task or create a wireframe in the meantime and just begin the next task.
Another one.
So the backlog is huge. Then they, like Keith said, they just prioritize what's next. In an order, and then if something gets delayed, we just pause it and move on to the next one.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's good.
Yeah, that's what Walker asked. How do you manage scope creep with fixed price projects?
Well, yeah, that's the biggest issue, right? For us, like I guess that's one of the biggest pros and cons here. Like you guys are paying for a subscription, you're just paying whatever it is per month. There's no
ongoing,
there's no
keeps
scope
going.
creep.
Yeah.
Whereas
exactly.
in fixed price world, there's scope creep, right? Where but that's where I've mitigated that by doing per page and other deliverables like integrations or anything like illustrations that are required. So then I know, hey guys, it's 10 pages. you're doing integrations into HubSpot and that. So that's your integrations piece. We're going to be working on illustrations. If you want anything outside of that, say, hey, I need a new page, or hey, I need to integrate something else. It's just we call it a revision, and we'll look at this after the project that has been done.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of like it's just a hard stop, right? You don't necessarily let's say, yeah, I can do that. No, it's the hard, like this needs to be revised. It's not within the current scope. We'll look at this after the project. If you want to fit it in now, we can also give you the price now and then add it to the invoice at the later. But scope creep. But then again, I guess you guys could still get scope creep, right? But it's not, well, the task just comes longer, guys. So it's just to your own detriment. So I think that's a pro, right? For doing tasks in a subscription model.
Yeah, kind of, when things get a little like too much or whatever, it kind of also like brings them into the next month of payment in some cases, like we're still working on this. So like, you know what I mean? It kind of like keeps the ball rolling, and it kind of keeps them, working with us, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's one, honestly, this is one of my biggest, I guess, assumed pro of the subscription world, right? So cash flow, right? It's the most important thing. So we don't get cash in our bank, we don't survive. Now, one thing I find interesting is that the subscription model is driven to make the client work a little bit harder in terms of giving you feedback, being constructive, being, I guess, giving you constructive feedback to actually finish a task, right? Because they're paying per month, the longer they drag it out, the longer they're potentially paying, like whether or not, like churn's a whole nother thing, right? But in terms of like just generally thinking, I want to smash through these 10 tasks. So I'm going to actively get back to you, Keith and Thor, because I want to get these tasks done within a month. So because I'm paying per month. So that helps decrease I call it like the client, the client loop of like going back and forth. In Fix World, we can take our sweet ass time. I'll get back to you next week, next month. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, that's like depending on whether or not they want to launch, right? The persona, I'm talking about a certain persona, but some personas get a little bit lost in the whole, like whatever. Like they're paying 50% now, 50% at the end. So I've fixed that a little bit because I do more milestones in terms of 3 payments instead of 2. But I feel like the subscription model, from a cash flow perspective, now I'm talking a little bit on the finance side, I feel like that would be better for business, and it also encourages clients to get back to you quicker. Is that right, or am I right on this in terms of that?
Yeah, I mean, for us, like the fixed price and the monthly recurring revenue is like just fantastic for us because it's predictable, and there's not really like too many fluctuations and stuff. Like we can all 3 of our the partners in Flow Sparrow can just know that they're going to get paid, and it's there's not really good months or there's not really bad months.
Not a feast or famine thing, right?
Yeah, it's just a steady thing. But with that, it does come like you need to be kind of on it with them or whatever, consistently. But there's the cons there is like, with fixed price, you can just like push it off for a week or whatever. But in this, like I've had a hard time just like taking a break personally, which is a big con because like I'm like the guy that's answering a lot of this stuff. Like I just have the technical knowledge. So I'm like, in all these clients, we have a small batch of them, but I'm able to kind of answer all this stuff, and they rely on me to, I don't know, the team relies on me to answer this stuff. So it's hard. I get burnt out pretty easily. So yeah, that's a con for sure. It's like constant. I wake up, look at Slack. We're doing it. We're doing it. Like, what's up today, kind of thing. Like, but I also kind of like that personally. But
and Thor, for you, like balancing. You got 3 kids. You have to manage your time really well. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, I think the best productivity hack is having kids. Because you stop slacking. I got
you don't use Slack. No.
8:30 to 4 to do the work, and luckily most of our clients are based in the US, which gives me until noon to do deep work, which is great. Nobody is bothering me. We got a remote team, and they all get up later, so I kind of get to do my own thing. And get a lot of things done before noon. Then, admin stuff communication and all that kicks in, and the focus is also out the window, right? So it's perfect in that sense. But touching a bit about the pros and cons, there are so many pros and cons about this. It's just about weighing the pros and cons, next to each other. And the pro, like we were talking about, it is super nice and relaxing to know, what next month will bring in subscriptions. It's just nice. You can you can pay your team members and all of that. But on the other side, it can be also super stressful. We got lots of deadlines, lots of tasks coming in. So it's both. It's hard, but pros and cons is very much all over the place.
Wow.
I can relate. Like, look, I think at the end of the day, the pros of the fixed price world is that it comes in, but we're not time constrained. But after like really listening to you guys, it kind of makes me think to myself, well, the con of me not getting paid and projects getting dragged out, I'd rather potentially solve the pressure of, dealing with tasks, because then I know I'm going to get paid a lot more consistently. I don't have to wait on clients, and it's something that I can, like you said, predictability. Because at the end of the day, some agencies can go 100 grand and they can go 10 grand, in almost 2 to 3 months. That's pretty dangerous when it comes to like, if this is my living. So I guess, yeah, I don't know. I think the best thing to approach this is probably the hybrid, like what you guys are saying. So get a project in, make it a fixed price in terms of like, this is just, I needed a new website, and then really kind of position yourself from a retainer or from like an ongoing perspective. This is what we can do. But I feel like if you make your website subscription first, you're going to attract the subscription first clients. So I know the community a little bit interested. What's the persona of people who actually want this subscription? Who is it? Is it agencies? Is it tech companies? Who actually wants this?
Yeah, that's what John asked too. And real quick, I think we're wrapping up to the end of the hour, so maybe we'll have one more time or time for one more question.
Sure. Yeah, I could speak to like how we work. So like we typically we've tried all types of businesses. We tried doing white label for agencies. We've tried just doing smaller mom and pop Webflow kind of services or for them. But we've found a sweet spot with like bigger organizations. People are really busy. They just want it handled. They're super down to just pay for this. And
Nice.
whenever like, they need something, they just hit us up. And it's nice in that regard. But yeah, it's usually people bigger organizations who have like a marketing department, like, a bunch of different departments, and they're just like, hey, like Webflow is not something we want to hire internally. We just want to like outsource it and get somebody who knows what they're doing. So here it is. And it comes in kind of like cheaper than hiring internally as well. So that's like the kind of the sweet spot for us. So
yeah. And for us, it's kind of both. We got large clients and small clients, and most in the tech space. So it is well manageable at the moment, and yeah.
I think I think you nailed it on this there, Keith, in the sense of this is cheaper for them to hire someone internally, but they get more value than one person.
Yeah, they get a team.
So it's cheaper it's cheaper than one person.
Yeah.
So then it actually becomes like, it makes your subscriptions relatively extremely valuable, right? Instead of saying, oh, like it's X amount this month, shit, that's a lot per month. It's more positioning in the fact that no, we're replacing the Webflow person who's going to work in your house in house, but you're also going to get more. You're going to get a team fueling this. So it's I think it's awesome what you guys are doing. I guess pioneers in our Webflow space. So it's cool to watch, and I love the fact that you guys have approached this differently than just a standard agency or just like doing the fixed price. So it's cool to see you guys winning in this space, and yeah, I hope I come back and you guys say we've got 100 clients a month next year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Awesome. Well, that wraps it up, guys. Really appreciate your time. Got a lot of insights, and I think a lot of people got their questions answered here. So before you guys go, is there anything that you guys want to say or share about your agencies?
Yeah, get Relume. Not even just because I'm on the stream, I swear, but like it has drastically changed our business. Like we're able to take on these landing pages and do a lot more with Relume, the library. Like I can tell you that it's like night and day between where we were before. So I want to thank you guys for having me on here, but also thank you just for building like one of my favorite products in this community by far. I love it. It's the best.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Relume is a time saver, and it's good to have those when you're doing subscription businesses, pulling all those great resources to help you doing the work better and faster. So yeah, I love what you guys are doing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So I promised we would announce something special at the end. And actually, this is something that's it's a proposal to both you, Keith, and Thorir as well. So going to share something here. Oh, on that note.
Drum roll.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, here we go. First I'm just going to go.
I don't. Right?
Yes. Hang on. All right, drum roll. Brrr. All right. So
for Figma, just to clarify, this is different to
actually,
Nelson's.
hang on. Yeah, I gotta put. Yeah. That's right. I gotta put some beats on. Whoops. Here you go. There you go. Okay, welcome. We have created the Relume Design League, where web design meets esports. And so we are gathering. This is based off the Relume Rumble. And so you can check out the YouTube links here. We got the rules. So it's basically a 4-player tournament. Let me turn down the music here. And we are going to start it in October. So it'll be October. This is an Australian dates, by the way. So it's October 6th to the 27th. So it's going to be our usual weekly live stream. So all of October, we are going to do a whole tournament. We have cash prize, $3,000. That's going to be split. So first place is 2,000 USD. Second is 750, and third is 250. So basically, yeah, you can check it out. We are looking for applicants to apply and attend. So yeah, hit it up. You can submit your applications. We are going to be deciding pretty soon, probably in like 2 weeks or so. And yeah, so that's the fantastic, exciting news.
And just to put on top
that's
of that,
awesome.
On top of that, if you apply, we'll also apply. Like it will also count for our next Rumble. So if you might not get into this Rumble, but like we're going to be holding multiple tournaments over it. So still apply because we're going to extend this, and this is going to get bigger, which is going to be exciting. So welcome to the RDL, everyone.
Yes, it's going to be a new chapter for Relume. It's really, really exciting. And actually, it's going to be in conjunction with Webflow Speed Build. We are going to focus it on Figma. So, it's not a competition there because they're going to stay on Webflow. But yeah, we're really excited. So make sure you guys apply. Also, next week, we are going to bring back Devin, the winner from Rumble number 2, with his Sneakerheads website. He's going to build, or Adam's going to build it. So we're going to dive more into it. It'll be really, really fun. So, all right, guys, that's it. So have a great week. We'll see you next time. Keith, Thor, thanks for coming. See you guys.
So much fun, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.